It seems like everyone is talking about me lately. Not that I don't understand why, but they can't stop gushing over my breasts. However, they claim to be such, and well, they aren't quite massive. The difference is that they're tall while I'm short. Yeah, that's right. Country music's enduring superstar Dolly Parton is lauded for her mesmerizing vocals and remarkable songwriting abilities. She has become a living legend after devoting over 60 years to the music industry, the film industry, and humanitarian work. Her angelic voice and charisma have enchanted audiences, and her optimism and generosity have won over millions. However, unseen hardships and anguish lay beneath the glitter of celebrity. There were crushing setbacks, enormous stresses, and moments of darkness that seemed insurmountable. How was it that this small woman, who had to bear the weight of so much pain, mustered the courage to stand tall, take on the world, and inspire countless others? Immerse yourself in the extraordinary life and hidden tales of Dolly Parton, the story of an unstoppable icon. In the beginning. On January 19th, 1946, Dolly Rebecca Parton came into this world in a little cottage on Locust Ridge, Tennessee, which was tucked away in the Appalachian Mountains beside the Little Pigeon River. There was no running water, electricity, or other contemporary luxuries in the hut, and much of Dolly's recollections of her youth revolve around the deprivation and hardship she endured. The Parton children had to bundle up in layers of light clothing and blankets to protect themselves from the freezing cold of the Appalachian winters. Dolly recalled how her family would cuddle up on a small bed at night, exchanging blankets and listening to their mother's reassuring tales. To make ends meet, Robert Lee Parton, Dolly's dad, was a sharecropper who grew tobacco and worked construction. Despite his strong work ethic and lack of formal education, he was illiterate. Nevertheless, Robert's intelligence and resourcefulness allowed him to provide for his big family despite his limited means. He taught Dolly and her siblings the importance of being responsible and working hard. Dolly had the utmost regard for her father, and the selflessness he displayed led her to start the nonprofit organization Imagination Library. Dolly's mom, Avie Lee Owens, was a musical soul who also served as the family's emotional rock. Avie Lee had 12 children by the time she was 35 years old, and she would often sing hymns and folk songs to calm and reassure them. Inspiring and calming, Avie's soft voice would float through the air if the kids were feeling down or scared. The person who ignited Dolly's love for music was Avie Lee. Dolly recalled that although they didn't have much money or resources, the music they had in their small home helped them get through the tough times. Dolly picked up sharing and taking on extra tasks fast because she was the fourth of 12 children. She had to take care of her younger siblings, in addition to being a little girl who liked singing. A new baby would always be given to an older sibling by Dolly's mother, who would say, "This is your baby." In addition to playing, this responsibility involved getting up in the middle of the night to feed and soothe the infant to sleep. Dolly was entrusted with the care of her brother, Larry, when she was just 9 years old. Sadly, Larry did not survive the first few days of his life, which devastated tiny Dolly. She was scarred for life by the loss, and she never fully recovered. While it did weaken her, it also gave her the strength to write many moving songs about love, sorrow, and family. Even though she had a tough childhood, Dolly had some happy memories as well. The Appalachians, with their pristine rivers, undeveloped farms, and starry nights, brought her great happiness. She developed an appreciation for life's little joys there, like watching a river's ripples and a blade of grass. In addition to the songs her mother sung, Dolly's vivid imagination was nourished by the folk tales and folklore of the area. Dolly had a gift for combining simple melodies with sincere words and started penning her first songs when she was 7 years old. After a year, her uncle Bill Owens saw that she had talent as a musician and handed her her first guitar. For Dolly, it was a watershed moment when she realized music could convey her innermost feelings. She started writing songs about her environment on that little guitar, true tales of poverty, but always brimming with love and optimism. In addition to molding Dolly's character, her time in the Appalachians had a major impact on her music. A difficult yet loving upbringing was the inspiration for every tune and word. With practice, she was able to compose songs that evoked strong emotions and left an impression on listeners. Lyrics of songs like Coat of Many Colors paint a vivid picture of a life where love overcomes all odds. Early in my profession, the gifted and driven artist Dolly Parton started performing professionally in 1955 when she was just 9 years old. She made her Grand Ole Opry debut at the tender age of 13 after beginning her performing career on East Tennessee radio and television. Moving to Nashville in 1965, she signed with Monument Records after graduating from high school in 1964. Standout singles from her first album, Hello, I'm Dolly, included Something Fishy and Dumb Blonde. Meeting country music superstar Porter Wagoner was a watershed moment in her career. In 1974, Dolly Parton began performing alone, and her career took off like a rocket. I Will Always Love You is a testament to her outstanding songwriting abilities and has stood the test of time. Hits like Jolene and her first crossover hit, Here You Come Again, defined her heyday. She was able to expand her influence and dominate both music markets after this landmark. Acclaim came to the multi-talented Dolly Parton in the 1980s, when the film 9 to 5 and the song 9 to 5 brought her immense acclaim. Steel Magnolias and The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas were later films in her playing career that displayed her comedic timing and adaptability. Dolly's crowning glory is the theme park she founded in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Dollywood. It has grown into a popular tourist spot and a cultural icon of the American South. Thousands of employment have been created, the economy has been improved, and opportunities have been created for low-income families thanks to the park. Dolly Parton remained hopeful and worked to improve park safety, despite facing legal challenges relating to safety issues. Her proactive leadership and unfaltering devotion demonstrated her strength and resolve to guarantee Dollywood's ongoing prosperity. Dolly Parton has been performing and recording music for almost 60 years, and in that time, she has received many accolades, including the National Medal of Arts and the Kennedy Center Honors, in addition to 51 nominations for Grammy Awards. With her exceptional artistic talent, commercial acumen, and caring heart, she has been an inspiration to generations. Dolly Parton has kept her private life, including her marriage to Carl Thomas Dean, under wraps despite the fact that she is one of the most famous celebrities in the world. They crossed paths in 1964, not long after Dolly had relocated to Nashville to further her singing career. At the Wishy Washy Laundromat, Carl, who was 21 years old at the time, met Dolly for the first time. Their love blossomed after only a brief exchange. Carl loves to make light of the fact that when he saw Dolly in a short skirt, the first thing he noticed were her stunning legs. They tied the knot in 1966, 2 years down the road, and their love story has continued for over half a century. Quite an unusual occurrence in the entertainment industry. Carl Thomas Dean hates the limelight and sparkle of show business and prefers to keep to himself. In contrast to Dolly's dazzling personality and magnetic stage presence, Carl would rather lead a low-key life away from the limelight. Even though he has been in a committed relationship with an international superstar for quite some time, he has kept his lifestyle grounded and focused on the mundane, and he seldom goes with Dolly to big events. According to Dolly, the key to a long-lasting marriage is maintaining individuality and allowing each other space. We always spend time apart, and I think that's one of the reasons our marriage has lasted, remarked Dolly. Always there to back Dolly up in her pursuit of her passions and aspirations, Carl has been a constant friend. Their choice to forego having a family is an intriguing facet of their relationship. Dolly has said that she and Carl gave serious consideration to having a family, going so far as to choose names for their hypothetical offspring. But their hectic schedules and Dolly's successful job made them go a different road. Though she felt remorse at first, Dolly was able to channel her energies into her music and philanthropic work, especially the Imagination Library, because she never had children. By distributing books and encouraging reading to millions of children around the world, she has acted as a mother figure through this program. When asked about her lack of biological children, Dolly frequently mentions the enormous delight and fulfillment she gets from feeling like a mother to many through the books she offers. In addition to being a legendary country music singer, accomplished actress, and astute businesswoman, Dolly Parton represents strength, generosity, and love that knows no bounds. Dolly continues to light up the world with her infectious smile and unwavering spirit, even though she has been through a lot in her life. sad events, and difficult periods. Dolly Parton has been through more tragedy and darkness than most people can fathom, hidden beneath the brilliant light of a career spanning more than 60 years. Years of suffering, despair, and personal struggles that she had to combat tirelessly lay beneath her vibrant smile and vivacious personality. As a young artist in Nashville, Dolly felt the crushing weight of the music industry's instantaneous ability to dash any aspiration she had. Even though Dolly was naive and inexperienced, she was hell-bent on not letting setbacks break her. Nevertheless, she frequently sank into a pit of despair due to her crippling loneliness and the terror that she was not enough. In the early 1980s, Dolly went through a terrible mental health crisis, which was the lowest point in her life. She was at the height of her career, but she fell into a profound depression due to the overwhelming demands of her job, her relationships, and the loneliness she felt as a result. During what she called "my darkest days," she endured physical and mental anguish. She sunk deeper into despair after an affair, which she called a soulmate relationship, caused her to feel guilty and prompted severe self-criticism. "I have physical and mental health problems as a result of the pain I felt in this relationship." Due to her eating disorder, Dolly gained a lot of weight and developed additional health problems. She fought fatigue, disappointment, and a lack of sleep every day, as well as negative thoughts, anxiety, and the fear of being overwhelmed by a world she didn't know. She seriously considered suicide at one time. She felt trapped in an endless sea of misery as her mind was consumed by gloomy ideas. However, Dolly encountered a supernatural intervention during her most depressing hour. Popey, her little puppy, ran to her side one afternoon as she sat next to a rifle she had contemplated using to end her suffering. She was startled and brought back to reality as Popey leaped onto her lap. Dolly saw this as a divine sign, a confirmation that there was still meaning and beauty in her life, and that she was meant to keep spreading love and joy. Over the next several days, she prayed fervently, trying to calm her racing mind and eventually triumph over her predicament. In the midst of all this upheaval, Dolly also received death threats from the Ku Klux Klan and other extreme organizations for openly supporting the LGBTQ+ community and for celebrating Gay Pride Day at Dollywood. Dolly remained unfazed and determined in the face of peril. Her convictions were unwavering, and she never stopped fighting for the causes she cared about. She was afraid for her and her family's safety as a result of the threats, but she stayed strong, vowing that she would never allow anyone to silence her voice for justice or kindness. In 2017, Dolly's longtime manager and close friend Don Warden passed away, among other personal misfortunes. As a rock who had been there for her from the beginning of her profession, Warden's death came as a terrible shock. Months later, she was devastated to hear that her niece Teaver Parton had died from a heroin overdose. Dolly had paid for Teaver's rehabilitation and done all she could to help him overcome his addiction. Yet the catastrophe still happened. The weight of Dolly's heart was heavy due to her string of losses, yet she always managed to turn her anguish into inspiration to live a better life and be more generous, thinking back on those difficult moments. With the correct punctuation inserted, here is your text. Dolly Parton is an inspiration because of her tremendous resilience and her tremendous talent. All of these hardships, she says again and time again, have made her stronger and more sensitive to other people's suffering. The world looks up to Dolly for being a great woman who refuses to let hardship define her. Instead, she turns her pain into strength and continues to spread her joy, love, and laughter far and wide, all because of those times of fierce struggle, charitable giving, and other community service. In addition to her fame as a musician and actress, Dolly Parton is well known for her selfless spirit and steadfast commitment to helping those in need. The 1995 establishment of the Imagination Library is among her most notable philanthropic endeavors. Dolly Parton started the program to remember her father, Robert Lee Parton, who was never literate, by giving out free books to kids from the time they are born until they start kindergarten. As Dolly proudly recounts, her father was profoundly touched and filled with pride when people began referring to her as the book lady, a sign of generosity and a passion for education. From its humble beginnings at Dolly's house in Sevier County, Tennessee, the Imagination Library swiftly spread to countries all over the globe, including Ireland, Canada, the UK, and Australia. Over 100 million books have been sent to children around the world through the program, inspiring a lifelong love of reading and a hunger for knowledge in the brains of future generations. Not only does this program provide youngsters with a valuable present, but it also demonstrates Dolly's commitment to utilizing her popularity for the greater good, further establishing her as an authentic embodiment of kindness. The Imagination Library is just the beginning of Dolly's charitable work. Throughout the years, she has been an ardent supporter of a plethora of other philanthropic causes, from helping those affected by the Tennessee flood to supporting medical research. She has given millions of dollars to humanitarian organizations. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Dolly's heroic $1 million donation to Vanderbilt University Medical Center fueled the research that ultimately resulted in the Moderna vaccine. Her selfless deed garnered her praise from over the globe. She never wants praise for her philanthropy. She just wants to help others less fortunate than herself. Impressions of the public and surprising intelligence Dolly Parton has always maintained her confidence, even when she's wearing wigs, lots of makeup, and sparkly clothes. Instead, she has proven herself to be a formidable businesswoman by deftly capitalizing on this image to establish an instantly recognizable brand. The actress has said that her outward appearance is deliberate. "I may look fake, but I'm completely real." Many are still amazed and impressed by the disparity between her outer look and her acute brain. The audience has been captivated by Dolly Parton's hilarious antics on multiple occasions. Dolly Parton had a notorious interview with Barbara Walters in 1977 when Walters inquired if she felt like a joke and seemed to make fun of her appearance. When asked if she felt free to experiment with different looks, Dolly responded with her signature grace that she was completely at ease and confident in herself. Without having to defend herself too seriously, responses like this have strengthened Dolly's confidence and intelligence. Both Dolly's musical prowess and her business acumen have contributed to her meteoric rise to the top of the entertainment industry. She has built a massive fortune with her extensive catalog of over 3,000 copyrighted songs and several critically acclaimed CDs. Furthermore, her estimated net worth of $500 million is a result of her business endeavors, which include the Dollywood Amusement Park and other businesses. She is living proof that a woman can rise from obscurity to become a powerful business magnate by utilizing her natural abilities, brains, and managerial prowess. Dolly Parton transcends her status as an artist to become an icon of strength and wisdom, transforming negative prejudices into inspiration to take on the world. She has inspired generations and garnered the respect of people all around the globe with her hilarious sense of humor, tremendous kindness, and prosperous career in several sectors, living now and leaving a legacy. Dolly Parton is still going strong at age 78, pursuing her passions and making music. Threads, My Songs in Symphony, a multimedia storytelling experience with a symphony orchestra, was announced, and she and her sister, Rachel Parton George, cooperated on the publication of Good Lookin' Cookin', a cookbook. Carl Dean and Dolly Parton have been married for 57 happy years. The United States Department of State presented her with the Peace Through Music Award in October 2024. United States Department of State and the Recording Academy worked together. Country music was introduced to a broader audience because, to Parton's career, which has inspired generations and broken barriers between genres. Parton has been an inspiration to audiences for nearly half a century, and her legacy will live on via the ideals she upheld and the joy she brought to many. Her legacy will serve as an inspiration to generations to come, serving as a symbol of courage, compassion, and kindness.